Okay, following on from the last video, we said that we were going to talk about how you control fishing for most of the rest of the class. And the question that needs to be asked is, why do you even need to control fishing? Well, in fact, for all of human history, we have been using fish and fish resources for sustenance, for enjoyment, and now that we have huge amounts of people on the planet, we're coming up against the biological limits of being able to extract fish from the ocean. So, number one, we want to control it so that we can continue to use it as a resource. And number two, we want to control it so that we use it efficiently. Perhaps there are ways to make more money out of a fishery than is currently being made. And so we want to, as fisheries managers, we're concerned with how to maximize profit as well as the food resource traditionally. Now, in the future, we may be talking a lot more about how to manage fisheries for other uses. But so, let's say that I'm a New Zealand fisher, and I'm going to go load up my boat with a bit of fishing or with a bit of fish, and so I want to start off from here. I've got a vessel with a big fish hold, and I want to go load it up. So where can I go from New Zealand to go fishing in and fill up my fish hold? All right. So we've got the whole world here. All right. Well, traditionally, I can go anywhere. It's called the freedom of the seas, and still today, you are not limited from going almost anywhere in the world on the high seas. So if I'm a commercial fisherman, I set off from New Zealand and off I go here. Can I fish here? Well, yes, I can, because that's in that's called the high seas. It's outside of the exclusive economic zone. All right, let's say it's a bit stormy and I want to go hide behind one of these Tahitian islands. Can I go out there and just go and go into the French Polynesian waters? Okay. Yes, I can. I can go anywhere I like within pretty much anywhere I like outside of 12 nautical miles from a controlled landmass. That is called the Territorial Sea, and within 12 nautical miles, a country can decide to exclude a vessel from coming into that territory. But if I wanted to go this way, I can sail anywhere I like through Australian waters, and legally, they can't tell me, no, you can't travel through that water. Now, once you get into the 12 nautical mile limit, then they, again, you're subject to all sorts of coastal laws. Originally, it was a 3-mile limit to stop naval ships from going up to coastal towns and bombarding them with cannons. 3 miles was the limit that the cannons could fire. Now, can I fish inside this exclusive economic zone? No. I am excluded from being a New Zealand vessel and fishing within the exclusive economic zone of this French Polynesia area, or the Pitcairn area, or inside the Cook Islands area, because any exclusive or any extractive activities or economic activities need to be are in control of the government that controls that zone. Now, what happens if I sneak in here and start longlining for tuna or purse seining for tuna? Well, that happens, and that's called illegal fishing. So, who owns the ocean? Well, obviously, you own, as a citizen of the globe, you own a portion of it, of that ocean that and on the high seas. And what you would say is that the government would be in ownership of the exclusive economic zone, but who is the government? So that means everybody, of all the citizens of that country, are owners of that water. And also, nobody owns especially the area outside of the on the high seas, outside of the exclusive economic zones, and nobody has a piece of paper that gives them a title to any particular area of the ocean. Although you can get leases for things like aquaculture. So why do we need to regulate? Now we know where we can regulate fishing legally. Why do we need to regulate fishing in the first place? Why don't people just self-regulate? And here is the question. Is there ever a time when it makes sense to stop catching fish you can sell? And the answer is been written about, talked about for a long time, and we need to focus on something called the tragedy of the commons. And now I'd like you to go to the Tragedy of the Commons video on Moodle and have a look at that.